Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hen House. I'm so excited to be here with you today with the beautiful Kathya Bustamante, who is here to tell us all about her awesome business. Hi, Kathya.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So for those of you guys who don't know me, I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. I'm Angela Neufeld, and I'm a creative business strategist and productivity coach, and I focus on planning, organizing, prioritizing, and strategizing to build you the amazing, inspired life and business that you will love and help you with that. And I just love to introduce my guest, Kathya, and let her introduce herself.
Okay, thank you, Angela. I'm so happy to be in your hen house.
I'm so excited.
I know. I'm so happy to be a hen. So my name is Kathya Bustamante, and I am a business strategist, and I work with integrity and purpose-driven entrepreneurs who want to build a business that makes a positive impact on people and the planet, but they're having trouble putting all the pieces together. So I work with them to get clear on their vision, define their bigger business purpose, and put the systems and structures in place so they can start off on a solid foundation and start padding their bank accounts.
I love it. So beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you because I love the whole purpose-driven business, and I can't wait to hear more about all this stuff. So tell me how you got started in this.
Oh gosh, a couple of things I think triggered it. Things in my past, which I have maybe not a very linear road to this job. I think like a lot of entrepreneurs, right? We try a lot of things and land on the one we love. So maybe I could talk about two things that led me to this. One was after getting an MBA in France, I decided to come back to the States, and I got a job on Wall Street managing investments for high net worth individuals. And in doing so, I discovered the world of SRI, which is socially responsible investments. And I fell in love with that because, of course, these are investments in companies that cared about people and cared about the planet. And I got so into it that I earned the nickname the granola stock girl in my office. And that wasn't considered a good thing. They used to make fun of me and say, "You're never going to make any money. You're selling all of these virtue stocks. We're selling the vice stocks. If you want to make money, that's what you need to do." And I said, yeah, you're right. I probably won't make as much money as you do in the short term, that is, but long term we'll win out, because in my mind, we were the internet age where people know everything now. They know within seconds what a company's up to, right? So if you're up to no good, people aren't going to want to support your business. So I stayed my course, and that's what I did, and I loved it. And then the crisis came, the financial crisis, and everything went berserk. Big banks were closing. Everyone was getting laid off. I was very fortunate that I got laid off, but I was miserable. I mean, they cut off a lot of people, and so we had to do a lot more work for starters. But it was also a time where the news every day was reporting really horrible things. Our clients were really nervous about their investments. Internally, they were telling us things that I didn't know if they were true. So I didn't know anymore if what I was saying to my client was even true. It felt terrible. Like they're panicking, and I didn't know what to say. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Wow,
So
that's quite the
I have integrity, but it was just, can you imagine people are calling you every day panicking about their money and you don't know what to say? And I thought,
no, that sounds,
it was really stressful. And I said, okay, I'm done. I'm quitting. I had no plan. Everyone said I was crazy because there were no jobs. Everyone was getting laid off. But I just knew that I couldn't do it anymore. And I hoped and prayed that it would work out. And it didn't right away. And so basically, I knew that I made a promise to myself that I was going to do something that I believed in, that I felt good about, and that I could get excited about again. And so what happened to me was I knew someone who had just started a restaurant that was 100% organic. And I was also known among friends, another wonderful title, as an organic fanatic. I've always been a big supporter of bringing organics mainstream. And he had started this business. He wanted to grow it. And I joined forces and became co-owner of this restaurant. And it was during a time, again, where a lot of restaurants were closing, things weren't working out. But surprisingly, this restaurant was doing really well. And it wasn't because the food was that great, I don't think. But in my opinion, it was because the restaurant stood for something. It was 100% organic. We used wind power, energy efficient kitchen equipment, soy ink, organic flowers, you name it.
Wow, I love it. That's a great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And people loved coming because they believed in it and they felt that it represented part of their worldview. And the neighboring restaurants would say, well, what are you doing? Why are you busy when everyone's closing? And I said, you know, this is what happens when you do something that people believe in and that they love and support. And it was clear to me then, I said, this is the future. You know, for me, business is the future. Are going to have to care about people on the planet. And without really trying, I was helping other people with their businesses, ideas, and how to make them more sustainable. And before I knew it, I was doing it so much, I said, this is what I want to do. And so that's why I'm doing it now. So now I'm basically helping other people build businesses that are considering people on the planet in the equation. And it just feels right. So I hope to be.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. I love that. And
it's a long story, I know, but
that's okay. I love it because that was my next question is like, where do you get your inspiration? So tell me, like, where do you get your inspiration from after having all these amazing stories and experiences already?
Well, I mean, a couple of things. I think what I'm really inspired about right now are other social entrepreneurs who are out there doing it. I mean, it's so exciting to see more and more every day. To think that when I was working on Wall Street, I was a bit of a joke. Oh yeah, socially responsible. And now it's so much more common. You don't have to explain it. People get it. People know that people are voting with their dollars and that, as I like to say, businesses are naked and you better be in shape if you want people to buy from you. They know exactly.
I love it. That's awesome.
Right? And so I'm so excited about and admire entrepreneurs who are really going for it and saying, I'm going to do this the best way I can to help people on the planet. And just recently, I learned about this business that I just fell in love with. And it's not here in North America yet. It's in the Netherlands, but they make sneakers, shoes that are nice. They're not ugly by any means. And they are designed so that when the shoe is worn out, you plant them in the soil and they bloom flowers.
We've talked about this awesome story. I love it. I'm so glad you brought this up.
Yes. I mean, can you believe that all people are thinking about how businesses impact nature and how they can not just not hurt it, but actually nourish it. And so things like that are popping up all over the place. And it excites me so much and inspires me to keep going because I think that every business has the potential to one way or another positively impact people and the planet if they want to.
Oh, I love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm totally excited to talk about too what your special sauce is because everybody that comes on here, I really want them to explain like what makes you unique, what is so special about what do you bring to the table that's so special? And I know you've already said so much, but tell us what your like key special sauce is.
Special sauce. Well, I mean, in many ways, it's funny because I feel like I do the same thing everybody else does. I'm a business strategist who helps people get their idea out of their head and put all the pieces together so they have a business and can start selling. So that's important. You can't get away from the basics. You need a foundation. You need the right things in place. But I think the one area that maybe is my special sauce, if you will, and is maybe the purpose, people, planet component. I like to say put people, purpose, and the planet first. Then profits will follow. And I really believe that every business, beyond wanting to have profits, has the capacity to have a bigger business purpose and to make a great impact. So I like to dig deep with people. And if someone comes to me and says, I want to build this business and I want to do XYZ and I want to sell jewelry or something, for example, I want to know why they want to sell jewelry. I want to know what happened in their past and what experience did they have to choose this particular business versus any other. And then find out what is it about that makes it unique and how that translates into how it can positively impact their customers and the world.
Oh, that's so fantastic. I love it.
So I love to find out what that is because the wonderful thing I see is that aha moment when someone says, I want to get this business going, I need to make money. And then they find out that, oh my gosh, I had no idea that I had this message inside of me and that my business could be about so much more. And once that click falls into place, everything is so much easier because then you know why you're doing what you're doing, who you're doing it for, how it benefits. and what things you want to put in place to get that make that message come across, and to attract the people that are your customers, because if they resonate with you because they share that same belief or value system, they're going to be more loyal. And so you don't want everybody, right?
You've got something here, girl. I mean, they've been doing this for years, but I don't hear a lot of this out there right now about keying in on, yes, there's a lot of things about being authentic and finding your purpose and your passions, but not clicking all that together with people, profit, planet, purpose, the whole thing together. And it's just really, really beautiful to hear.
Thank you. Yeah.
So can you give us some special tips for our business that we could use, or the viewers could use on or a strategy or something that you can suggest that would be like something valuable to share with everybody?
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on the type of business you have, right? But I think most importantly, I always get everyone to start their business by creating a who, what, why video. Who you are, what you do, and why you do it on the bigger picture. And why, that's a tricky one, because I know there's a lot of talk about your personal purpose, your personal why. And I think first you start there, right? You start with your personal why do you do it? Is it your family? Is it your desire to have location independence, etc.? But that's one part of the equation. The other part is, what does the customer want, and what are you solving for that customer? And once those two come together, the thing that you love to do and what they need, then we take that and look at the bigger picture and say, well, how are you helping on a much bigger scale? What is so exciting? And I think the most important thing is to dig deep and answer those questions: who you are, what you do, why you do it, on a personal level and on a big level. How is the planet being impacted? And I always like the example of Tom's shoes. Tom's shoes, I think most people know that they do a 1-for-1. For every shoe that they sell, they give one to a child in need. And their purpose that they have on their website, from what I've seen, is we exist to make the world a better place for everyone. And they just happen to choose shoes as their vehicle. But there's a bigger purpose there. And so I think just really getting clear on a higher level, what's your business doing? And if your business suddenly disappeared tomorrow, what would the world be missing out on? I think that's it. Of course, that's not as simple as, something you do overnight, but to start thinking that way of, how is my business contributing positive to the world? How am I empowering people? How am I helping?
Mm-hmm. No, I love it. I think it's great things to think about, because we were just talking about earlier how you're going to hear from all over the place, and this is what you should be doing, and this is what you should be thinking, and this is how you should be marketing, and this is blah, 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 blah. But really, when you get down to the nitty gritty and you think about your own key elements and what you're contributing and why you're doing it, and the who and the what and the like your video explanation, that was a fantastic idea. I think that's brilliant, because you can get so lost in the online business world,
the buffet,
and things like that. Yeah, and it's very distracting. And so if you get back to that core,
yes,
what you're delivering and why, it's super. That's something that's key.
Yeah, and I think that's. The other thing I would also recommend is depending on the type of business you are, but if you have product and you can go back and find out who's doing the product. How can you help the people down the line that are creating your product? There's a company I really love.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, very clever.
This is good for you ladies who love lingerie. It's a company called Naja, Naja.co. And they're a fantastic company because they're environmentally friendly. They even use, I think, recycled plastic to make some of their bras and underwear. But they also empower women, and all of the women that make the clothing, I think they're all in Colombia, but they have, they're either head of households or single moms. So they're empowering women through their business. And so they're they're making sure these women are paid fairly. So there's fair trade practices in place. Their kids are able to go to school. And it feels good to know that these people are making your clothes. So looking back and saying, who's involved in the process and what I'm bringing forward? And are we using, and they use digital printing so that they don't use a lot of toxic chemicals and dyes. And so, if it's hurting the planet and you know it, then you find another solution. Fortunately, today, there are so many other options. So I think just asking the big questions, let's go back and see, where this begins and who's touching this, how it's involved. And the best thing is that when you tell your customer the process of how something came to be, and they know that you've actually considered these questions of how people on the planet are affected, they're going to love you more, and they're going to be more loyal and tell people about it. So it's definitely a win-win. And it's no secret. I feel like it's the way things are going now. I think that's
yeah. What a neat example. I love it. Thanks so much.
You have to check out those brows, though. You'll love them.
Yeah, totally. So when we are running these really creatively inspired businesses, sometimes we get stressed out and overwhelmed with all the stuff going on, all the this and the that and the small stuff and the being busy work and all that kind of stuff. Like, how do you deal with with your business and everything? Do you have any tips that you could share on how do you decompress at the end of the day? Because I think that we have all these amazing ideas, like you've just shared, so many ideas and strategies and topics and things we want to work on and share and maybe create free workshops and challenges and trainings off of. But in the end, we're so let's get ourselves almost onto that path of decompress so that we can do all this and bring all this beautiful purpose that you're talking about to light. Do you have any things that you do special to do that at the end of the day?
I wish I could say yes. But I think like everybody, as an entrepreneur, we're juggling so much. I also have a 2-year-old that keeps me on my toes. And I know that she's made me more focused in many ways because I only get a few hours a day to do things. So I zip through. But I think recently I've started to give myself a bit more of a break. If I can't do something, it's okay. And just I think it was today I saw a post that was really lovely. I forget where I saw it on a Facebook group. And it was a woman saying, I'm going at my pace, and that's okay. And I don't need to go at everyone's pace. And I don't really have anything right now that I can say, try this, but I think it's just not beating yourself up. You are where you are. But more importantly, I think the thing that keeps me focused is that there's my vision of what I want to create. In my fantasy world, if I had a little magic wand, I wish every business owner would sit down to create a business and think, how does what I do positively or negatively impact people or the planet? And if it's negative, we don't do it. We do it another way. And the beauty about that is that you'll be more profitable if you do it that way. But because I have that vision that that's what I want, that's the dent I want to make in the world, is to change the world that way by making businesses more purposeful and profitable that way. That keeps me going. I don't want to do another business. I want to do it because my purpose is clear, my vision is clear, and that's what I hope to help people with, is to get that clarity of why you're doing it from a bigger perspective, not just, of course, you want to buy your home and your car, but we're designed as humans to want to be connected to something bigger, and I think that's the opportunity here.
Oh, I love that too, because we're always hearing things about, and I'm all about taking action and, making those, having priorities and doing actionable things that are actually getting you somewhere, but incorporating all your purpose and everything. We hear a lot of the word hustling, and then you lose that little bit of that, like we talked about in the busyness of everything. Not that hustling's bad or good, because it's all about who you are and what you're about and how your work style is.
Yeah.
How is that?
Hustlers.
How does that sit with you?
Well, I think I'm the other school where I get a bit frozen when I have to hustle. I think, but I admire those who do, because I see that they just go for it. And I think, wow, that's great. But for me, it has the opposite effect. I actually go, I need a break. So you have to, as you said, do what works for you, right?
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Yeah. So tell us all about what kind of new projects you have on the horizon.
In my head, or actually, no. Well, I'm excited to say that I am going to be putting together a podcast soon, and I will be interviewing other socially responsible entrepreneurs who have businesses that are making a positive impact in the world, and sharing with people how they do it and how it's going, and giving tips on how, if you don't have one that is, but you'd like a business that's more socially responsible, how to make that transition. So I'm really excited about that in the near future. And other than that, I think, right now I work one-on-one, but I'm going to be working on obviously a program where people can learn from step one how to build their, as I call it, people, planet, purpose, profit-driven business. And that's it. And just really getting this message across.
Oh, that's exciting. That's a podcast. That's really fun because I'm just having so much fun with the hen house stuff. It's just a blast. I know you'll have fun on the podcast.
Well, that was inspiring to see your hen house. And I have to say, I'm so impressed because you clearly have a hustler in you, because you told me not that long ago that you were thinking about doing it. And I think it was the next week I saw your first interview.
Well, like I get on, I'm a planner, but I'm also super creative. So when I think of things, I feel like, oh, I can't lose this thought. So I either test it out or I push it to the side and let it go. But anyway, this one I tried and it was just such a blast and it just went over so well. I love it. I'm really excited. I'm so grateful that you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's so fun. Do you want to tell us anything else about your amazing business and how to get a hold of you and where to find you, that kind of stuff?
Oh, sure. Well, I'll give you some links that maybe you can add afterwards too. But my business is right now Core Strategies, but that's spelled COEUR-strategies. Core is actually French for heart. And that's where you can find me on my website. I do have a Facebook group I started, and it's called Integrity Entrepreneurs. And I can give you the link to that as well. I'm sorry, Integrity and Success-Driven Entrepreneurs.
Oh, fantastic. And yes, I'll include all this at the end of the post for you guys for sure.
Okay, thank you. And I think that's it. I don't know, unless you have any questions.
Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, I'm so excited. You've answered like everything. You're so creative and I love your purpose. I love your own purpose. And you're just going to do amazing because your personality just glows inside and out.
You're sweet.
You're here and so thankful. So yeah, and Kathya also offers free sessions. And so we were talking about that earlier. If you,
sure.
I can always offer the link for that at the end of
on the website. There's a free session button if anyone wants to, have a conversation about what I do and how I can help them and how I can actually give them a few strategies on that call. They can check that out. So that's pretty.
Well, that's a no-brainer, you guys, if you don't take her up on that yet. That's a good offer. So awesome. Thanks so much for being here at the Hen House. I'm so excited to have you and grateful that you're here. And I look forward to talking to you soon. And thanks for everybody watching. It's been a fantastic interview, and little Rocky here has been here watching the whole way. So I'll see you guys on the next interview, and all the links will be underneath. So have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you, Angela. So good to be here.
Welcome. Thanks so much, Kathya. Bye.